Hey friends, today I'm going to tell you about a super funny and interactive book called Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus. This book is written by Mo Williams, who's known for creating books that make kids laugh and get involved in the story. This book is best for students kindergarten through second grade, and I think my first graders are going to especially love it. So let me start with the opening lines. The opening lines of this book are, "Hi, I'm the bus driver. Listen, I gotta leave for a little while, so can you watch things for me until I get back? Thanks. Oh, hang on. Can you remember? Don't let the pigeon drive the bus." Okay, so this story is about a pigeon who has one big dream. He really, really wants to drive the bus. But while the bus driver is gone, the pigeon spends the whole story begging, pleading, and even throwing a tantrum to try to get permission to drive the bus. Now, the strength of this book, I think it's super interactive. The pigeon talks directly to the reader. For example, as you get started, he said, "I thought he'd never leave," like as he's talking to the student, and he'll say, "Hey, can I drive the bus?" Which has the children really answer back to him, and so it keeps them engaged, keeps them interacted. So he's talking directly to the reader. The kids can shout back "no" every time that he asks something, and that makes reading this book a whole body experience because they get excited, they get up and they're talking, and they're talking to the pigeon, and they're talking to the teacher, they're interacting. But another strength is its humor. The exaggerated expressions on the pigeon's face make it impossible to not laugh. So you can see as we go, his expression changes, and even when he throws his tantrum towards the middle of the book, here's where my kids love to, where he looks like he's sad. But then even you can see all the different expressions that he has when the kids tell him no. So it's just super cute. They all laugh. They love the story. One weakness, though, is the story is really short and super simple. Some advanced readers might finish it quickly, but it still has a lot of potential for discussion and deeper thinking. The main message of the story is about self-control and following rules. Sometimes we don't get what we want, but as I teach my first graders, that's part of life. And rules exist to keep us safe, happy, healthy, being able to learn. So I recommend this book for first graders for several reasons. First, it gets kids engaged. They're talking, they're participating, they're paying attention. They want to know what the pigeon is going to ask next. Second, it gives students the opportunity to make predictions, and that's what we were working on. That's what I use this text for. They'll want to guess what's going to happen next. They try to guess what's going to happen at the end of the story. And then third, it connects to real life learning about responsibility, rules, patience, which are important for young students inside the classroom and outside the classroom. So even though it's silly and funny, it's also pretty meaningful for our little guys. Now, the reading strategy that I would pair with this book is prediction. Predicting helps students to think ahead, use the clues from the pictures, and then at the end, they get to confirm their understanding. Was I right? Was I wrong? Was something else completely crazy about it? But here's how I would use it. So before reading, I'd show the cover. I'd ask, what do you think the pigeon's going to try to do? Do you think he's going to try to drive the bus? And then during the story, I'd pause at different points of the story, let the students guess what might happen next. And then after reading, we go back and check whose predictions were correct. And to make a visual, I'd use a prediction chart. And one side would have what do we predict, and the other side would have what really happened on it. And then students can actually draw their pictures at the end and kind of go back. What was my prediction? And then what actually happened? And so this keeps them engaged. It helps build those comprehension skills and critical thinking skills. And then at the end, if you've got some kiddos that finish really quickly, then they can write sentences to go with their pictures about their predictions. So if you're looking for a book that makes kids laugh, gets them shouting answers, gets them engaged, gets them having a good time, all while you're learning about prediction and learning about rules and responsibility. Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus is a perfect choice for your kiddos K through 2. Okay? And no matter how hard he begs, don't let the pigeon drive the bus.